There's a danger there. There's a threat. Boom, you've got to react.
I wasn't expecting this.
The unexpected is why these 30 officers from around our area are here.
Learning how to improvise. You always want to be prepared for me and my partners out there.
Inside the Bexar County Sheriff's Training Academy, there's no holding back.
Very, very intense.
As the deputies and cops are taught some Thai boxing,
Flat out strikes, you know, uppercuts, elbows.
And Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Ground fighting, takedowns, basic hand-to-hand combat.
Tactics they can use to defend themselves inside jails.
There's times that you have people that attack.
And out on a call.
It's a dangerous job and things happen fast and they don't always have time to go to an option like a taser.
If an officer is taken down, his main priority has to be to protect his gun so it's not used against him. And knowing the right skills can submit a suspect quickly.
It's all very quick, very simple, that under stress you can do.
Don't think about it, just react.
Instructor Mike Willis teaches the techniques to help them all use their bodies as weapons if need be.
Never know what situation you'll run into.
No one here knows that better than Bexar County Deputy Joseph Canellis. Back in 1972, his father was a San Antonio police officer, shot and killed on duty while chasing robbery suspects.
On the street, there is no second chance. You might not come home.
Now Joseph is showing these officers some powerful combat moves that could help make sure they do go home every night. And no one here takes that for granted.
Now it's just a matter of keeping up and practicing it.
Andrew McIntosh, Fox News First. Just about every summer afternoon, in the monastery kitchen, beneath the National Shrine of the Basilica of the Little Flower, you'll find Eloisa Sanchez with a big smile.
Making the holy salsa.
She blends and stirs her special recipe of tomatoes and chiles for hours. Then carefully fills jar after jar. For 2 years, Eloisa has had to keep up this pace because of how popular her salsas become. She sells it every Sunday after service here and sells out fast. Last week, she went through 25 jars. But
people keep asking for it.
For $5, you can get your hands on the holy salsa. It's a bargain to those who fell in love with the heavenly flavor.
I'm glad that everybody liked it. I'm glad. I'm really blessed, let me tell you.
Probably the best salsa I've ever tasted in San Antonio.
Now, it's not just called holy salsa because of how good it tastes. It actually is holy. All the ingredients are grown right here in this garden on Basilica grounds that have been blessed by a father.
It makes it very special. Michael
Montoya runs the community garden behind the Basilica. Volunteers tend to the plants and flowers, taking pride in the growth here. He says what makes Eloisa's work even more special is how salsa sales are helping this once abandoned lot blossom.
The money that comes from that we can put directly back into the garden.
Eloisa is thrilled her sauce means more green for the garden she depends on. But remember, to enjoy her holy salsa,
you need to come to the Basilica.
River City Christian School's campus turns into carnival grounds for the first 2 days of a San Antonio tradition.
It is great, I like it, and it rocks.
Welcome to Fiesta Especial.
In its second year as an official Fiesta event, Fiesta Especial is full of fun activities everyone can enjoy. But it's really for special needs kids.
As far as we know, in the history of Fiesta, there hasn't been an event that really reached out to the special needs community.
It's something that's very dear to my heart because of my son.
Nicole De La Garza's son Ian has cerebral palsy and epilepsy.
And with all that, he's able to be included in everything that you have here.
Fiesta Especial is awesome. It's great. It's giving kids with special needs an opportunity to have fun just like every other kid.
Jennifer Muth's son Philip suffers from a brain condition that impairs his movement. Today he's trying out a few rides, and his mom believes he's having a great time.
He can't tell me that himself, but his smile says it.
Here the rides are just as fun as the ones at other Fiesta events. The difference is kids can take their time getting on the rides. The problem is most don't want to come off.
When I was here earlier, I kind of got to sneak on the ride with me. I had the entire ride to myself kind of feeling.
River City Christian students work pretty much all year round to make Fiesta Especial an unforgettable event. It's not easy, But
every single minute of it is worth it. Every second is worth it.
From the games to the rides and everything in between, 12-year-old Milam Boyle sums up Fiesta Especial best.
It's just fun stuff.
Andrew McIntosh, Fox News at 9.
People look at me and say, how come you smile so much?
It's a question people ask because of how 24-year-old Nick Vujicic looks. The Australian was born without arms and legs, but his faith in God has taught him his appearance is not what matters.
What definitely counts is the heart. What definitely counts is the spirit.
And Nick has plenty of that to go along with his sense of humor.
One little boy came up and said, "What happened?" And I went up to him and I go, "Cigarettes." And it just freaked the kid out. But
when Nick's not joking around, he's traveling the world as an inspirational speaker. In fact, it takes up most of his time.
You want the smile that I have.
Basically, I go around and share how you can have such a joy in your circumstance if you see the purpose of your circumstance.
Nick tells us finding his purpose wasn't easy. He spent the first 14 years of his life depressed, wondering why he was born with no limbs.
I didn't see the purpose. I didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I didn't see hope for me to live.
But he says that all changed when he formed a relationship with God.
It's not about how much of our body we have, but who we have on the inside that gives us the power. Amen?
Amen.
Today, he's sharing his faith with Anthony Cavallini. The 16-year-old from San Antonio was also born without arms and legs. The outspoken teen says he has lots of ups and downs, and his hope for the future comes and goes. But spending time with Nick makes his eyes light up with optimism.
It's very inspiring. I think it's awesome, and I wish I could see this more often.
It's an effect Nick's presence has on most people he meets. He says his words are not just for the disabled, but for everyone suffering from fear and guilt.
That is the greatest disability of all that I believe we have in life. And we all have it, whether you have arms and legs or not. We all go through fear and guilt.
Helping people accept who they are by accepting a higher power has become Nick's life work. And it's a life he wouldn't trade for anything. Not even arms and legs.
If I only was used to encourage one soul out there to never give up, I would do it all again. Because the value of encouraging one soul is infinitely valuable. And you can multiply my pain exponentially, and I'll do it all over again for that one.
Andrew McIntosh, Fox News at 9. Aspiring boxer Joseph Plasencia is inspired by Oscar Diaz. The 18-year-old dreams of going pro as he trains here at San Fernando Gym, and everyone here prays for Diaz's recovery.
Because we love Oscar. Oscar's one of us.
The San Antonio native is in critical condition after a Wednesday night fight in front of a hometown crowd.
There's some points where it has me thinking about it, man, that could have been me. But I just, I love the sport so much, I try not to let it get to me.
It's a sport and people won't give it up.
Dr. David Jimenez says if boxers did, many would save their brains. The UT Health Science Center neurosurgeon performed surgery on Diaz after he collapsed in the ring.
We literally saved his life with this operation.
The repeated blows Diaz suffered caused severe brain trauma. Such injuries are almost common in boxing. Studies show up to 40% of ex-boxers show signs of chronic brain injury.
Professional boxers end up with the so-called punch-drunk syndrome, where they look like they have Alzheimer's. They look like they have Parkinson's disease.
According to the American Association of Neurological Surgeons, the force of a professional boxer's fist is equivalent to being hit by a 13-pound bowling ball traveling at 20 miles per hour.
It generates in the neighborhood of about 50-something G's.
It's dangerous. It can be brutal.
But trainer Robert Perez says he does everything to keep his boxers at San Fernando Gym safe. They use only approved gloves and headgear to protect themselves. And the first lesson here
is that they're not indestructible, that they're subject to get hurt.
Despite the possible consequences, Joseph says his passion drives him.
But I know what I'm getting myself into, though. I really do.
Jimenez just has this to say to those who choose to get in the ring.
The brain is something to be protected.